Hi everyone, it's Andy here from Mr. Yoo-Hoo. If you're new to the channel, we look at modern OTC hearing aids and hearing devices that don't look or feel like the old school beige units your grandparents wore. Recently we reviewed the Cearvol Wave Lite in depth. That's their ITE, earbud-style OTC hearing aid with Bluetooth and app control, ITE being in the ear. And I came away really impressed. The Nano sits on the other side of the lineup. Tiny, completely in the canal, discreet, and designed to be as simple as possible to use. In this video, I'm going to unbox the Nano, show you what you get, talk about the design, the fit, and the comfort, and then go through how clever the actual charging case is, how it works as a full remote control. Guys, we'll test the different hearing programs and environment modes in real-world situations, like at home here, in busy indoor spaces, and out about here on the Gold Coast in Australia, including walking by the beach. We'll talk about noise reduction, feedback control, and speech enhancement. And I'll be honest, where the Nano really shines and where it starts to struggle. Then, at the end, I'll compare Nano to the Wave Lite so you can decide which style of OTC hearing aid makes more sense for your hearing, your lifestyle, and your budget. And you can see I've just put these in just now, and look how easy these fit. I mean, they are so small. We're also doing a giveaway as well. We're giving away a pair of Cearvol OTC hearing aids. So there's links below if you wish to join. The more times you enter, the more chances you have to win as well. And make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let's get into it. Traditionally, you see a lot of RIC hearing aids, receiver in canal, where most electronics sit behind your ear and a tiny wire runs down into the ear canal. That's a classic professional clinic style. Then you've got ITE, in-the-ear devices, which feel more of the outer ear and are great for things like Bluetooth, apps, and more advanced features. That's where the Wave Lite lives. The Nano is in the canal. As you can see, it tucks right down into your canal with only a tiny bit visible and a small removal thread. Now let's look at what comes in the box. So out of the box, the Cearvol Nano comes in two colors, Midnight and Starlight, and straight away, it doesn't feel like a cheap medical gadget. The packaging is clean and modern, more like a premium pair of earbuds than a hospital device. Inside, you get the Nano hearing aids themselves, the charging case, 3 sides of ear tips, a USB-C charging cable, and a small cleaning tool. It's everything, guys, you need to get going without being overwhelming. Now, the devices themselves are tiny. Now, if you can see just there, these are proper mini ITC hearing aids. They sit so deep and low in your ear canal. There's a little clear thread removal on them as well, on each one, which is what you use to pull them out, and that's how close they go. If you're right up close, you can see it, but from normal conversation distance, you really have to be looking for them. So how easy are they to use? Well, let's pop them in and let's see how they look. So I've got the left one here, which is the blue. So I put the left one in, that's it. Put the right one in, that's it. They're in my ears now. Now looking head on, you probably wouldn't notice unless you were staring directly at my ears. As soon as I power up, you get that gentle amplification, and I get the voice saying outdoor mode. So it sets automatically to that mode because that's what I had previously. The Nano can provide up to around 30 decibels of gain, which is aimed at people with mild to moderate, edging into moderately severely hearing loss, depending on your profile. In sound terms, instead of making everything louder, the Nano aims to give you a clean, detailed sound. There's dedicated noise reduction that tries to distinguish speech from background noise, adaptive feedback cancellation to deal with potential whistling, and speech enhancement to pull voices forward when someone's talking to you. You can think of it 3 layers working together. You reduce the junk in the background, stop the squeals, and boost your words you actually care about. Now I can actually hear them at the moment as well, so as I'm talking, my voice is actually amplified. They sound fantastic. Now where the Nano does something really different from most OTC hearing aids is the case. Now instead of relying on a smartphone app and tiny touch sensors in the device themselves, the Nano has decided to turn the charging case into a full remote control. On the case, you've got the physical buttons. Volume up, volume down for the right ear, a button to change your hearing programs, that's your gain level, and another to switch environment modes, like indoor, outdoor, or restaurant style listening. You pick up the case, tap the button you need, and the hearing aids beep to confirm the change, and you're done. It also means, guys, you're not constantly poking at your ears in public. Actually, let's go outside now and actually do a test using different modes so we can see how it feels and how it works in practice. So I'm coming to use the Cearvol Nano outside to see what it sounds like. Does it pick up external noise and how does it actually help with the sound? So as you can see, I put them here into my ears. See, you can't even see them, isn't it incredible? Now this has gone to indoor mode straight away. Now I can go and change the mode, which I'll do by pressing the case just here. So I press that, restaurant mode, and now I'll go to outdoor mode. Now what outdoor mode allows you to do is it allows you to hear the sounds of people around you outdoors, so it makes it better. So I'm hearing a bird at the moment. The bird sounds clear, the sound's amplified, which is great. I could also hear a boat going past down the road there. So it does work very, very well. And it doesn't sound over the top either. It sounds nicely balanced, which is great. So yeah, so there it sits just there. And outdoor mode works really well. But I love
how
you use.
How was that? As you can see, they're so easy to use. But let's talk about these hearing programs and environment modes, because that's where the Nano adapts to your day-to-day life. On the program side, you've got 3 preset hearing modes: mild, moderate, and moderately severe. These are the different gain curves. They're pre-configured so you can roughly match your hearing with a single press. Then you've got the scene modes as well, which is on the other side. It's got 3 modes. So you've got indoor mode, which is tuned for quiet environments with occasional background noise. So at home, like I am now, office, reading, watching TV. Outdoor mode tries to cut down wind and traffic noise, which we used before, so you can hear more clearly when you're walking outside or at the park. And then there's focus mode. Press it again. For places like restaurants and busy cafes, where it tries to pull speech forward and push general background noise down. Now I use this walking outside with traffic and works very, very well straight away. Now using the case, it's simple. Tap the mode button, you hear a confirmation code and hearing aids. You can move between those environments as you go through your day. Comfort-wise, because they're small and light, they fit naturally in the ear. With the right tip, they sit snugly without feeling like they're trying to push your ear open. Cearvol includes 3 ear tip sizes. For me, one ear needed a slightly larger tip to really lock it in. And once I found that combination, I could wear them for hours without pressure points or that blocked feeling you sometimes get. The design is also very glasses and mask friendly, because everything is in the canal. There's nothing behind your ear to clash your glasses, arms or mask straps. Nano is also IPX5 rated, which means it can handle a bit of sweat and splashes. Now let's go across to where I've actually taken these for a walk, and let me talk about how good it is and how I enjoyed using them. I run in the park and I'm using them in outdoor mode, and the birds sound so clear. You can hear the true coming through, and it really does make the sound lovely clear, and you can hear the water lapping. It really is great for outdoors. So let's talk hygiene for a second, because that's an underrated part of hearing aid design. Inside the Nano charging case, there's a built-in UV-sterilization system. That's incredible, isn't it? While hearing aids are charging, a UV light helps kill up to 99.9% of bacteria in the devices. That's good for your ears and good for longevity of the hearing aids. Now on the battery side as well, the Nano does exactly what you want an OTC hearing aid to do. A quick 15-minute charge in the case gives you around 3 hours of use, which is perfect if you realise you forgot to charge them before heading out. Now a full charge gives you about 17 hours of continuous listening. So basically a full day of use. Let's talk about what it's like to use Nano in real environments. Now, in quieter settings like the home or office, the Nano does really well. Speech sounds clean and natural. You don't get that harsh, overly bright, tinny sound that some cheap sound amplifiers produce. In outdoor environments, for example, cafes, supermarkets, and the Nano holds its own. With the focused environment mode on, it pulls voices closer and drops a lot of the general hum, but you still know you're in a busy place. Again, as you can see, I'm walking around using them. You can still hear things around you, but your main conversation becomes easier to follow without constant straining. So being able to tweak volume or mode on the case is really handy as well, because you change environment so quickly, don't you? So as you can see, I took the Nano out about here in the Gold Coast, walking around the shops, down by the beach, out near the ocean, with outdoor mode on. I can hear the waves in the background, but still hear the person next to me clearly. Wind noise is present, but not overpowering, and the amplification helped lift voices without making the whole scene feel chaotic. Here we are at the beach. Why I thought I'd bring them here is because there's lots of noise going on. There's a beach, there's people kicking footballs around, and these can actually isolate the sound for you. So if you want to hear the lovely ocean in the background, press the button and it does it. If you want to have a conversation, you can press it too, and it works just as well. So I've been using them. They're also good if you want to maybe go for a run in them. The different modes help adjust the hearing depending on what you actually want to do. So again, it's a beautiful day here, and what a place to use them. So there you go. As you can see, look how good was that. Being able to reach into my pocket, tap the case to adjust volume or switch modes while walking felt natural. One thing I do want to highlight is the feedback control. Cearvol's adaptive feedback cancellation in a Nano is designed to catch that in real time and cancel it. Compared to other discrete ITC hearing aids I've tried, Nano has definitely been one of the most stable designs when it comes to keeping feedback under control. So how does the Nano fit into bigger Cearvol lineup, especially compared to the Wave Lite we reviewed recently? The Wave Lite is a more modern earbud-style OTC hearing aid. It's in the ear, so it fills more of the outer ear and leans into the tech side. Full smartphone app, AI enhanced sound, Bluetooth 5.3 for music, streaming calls, plus AUX in to plug into a TV or in-flight entertainment. It's brilliant if you're comfortable with your phone and you like the idea of your hearing aid doubling as wireless earbuds. And Nano takes the opposite approach. No app to worry about, no tiny touch gestures in the earpieces, and no visible stem hanging out of your ear. Everything is about being simple and invisible. Physical buttons on the case instead of a screen full of sliders. You charge them, put them in, tap a couple of buttons on the case, and if you need to change how they sound, and that's it. If I was setting up a parent or grandparent who hates fiddly tech, Nano would be the easy recommendation. If I was setting up someone who loves customization, wants Bluetooth music, and is happy in an app, Wave Lite would make more sense. Both are OTC hearing aids aimed at making hearing help more accessible. They just approach the problem from different angles. But guys, this is one of my favorite hearing aids I've tested. The lightness, the easy to use, the fact that it just sits in your ears so well is absolutely great. And it's great to have something that doesn't always have to have music and conversations all the time. It's much more accessible price range compared to traditional hearing aids, which can easily run into thousands once you factor in fittings and follow-up visits. The Nano is designed to give people with mild to moderate hearing loss a genuinely useful, discreet option without having to jump straight into a full clinic workflow. It's not trying to replace the most powerful, custom-fitted systems for the most challenging cases. Guys, about making everyday listening, conversations, TV, small gatherings, shopping, walks outside, significantly easier and less exhausting. It's a very thoughtful design that focuses on things that matter in real life. Being discreet enough, again, look how small it is, like it's crazy, being discreet enough that you don't feel self-conscious, simple enough that you're not fighting with technology all the time, and capable enough to give you clear, comfortable hearing in situations you face every day. The case as a remote control is genuinely clever. The tiny in-the-canal form factor is one of the most invisible I've worn, and the sound processing does a solid job with speech clarity and noise control for mild to moderate needs. So guys, if you just started to notice what you're saying, sorry, what was that? Or you turn the TV up higher than everyone else in the room, and you want to first step into hearing help that doesn't scream medical device, the Cearvol Nano is definitely worth a serious look. If you're more of a tech person and not the idea of streaming, we do have the Wave Lite. It might be a better fit for you. The good news is, guys, you've got two very different options inside the same brand. And we've done the Cearvol Wave Lite review as well. You can see it there. We're also doing a Cearvol OTC hearing aid giveaway. So make sure you enter in the links below. The more times you enter, the more chance you have to win. We've loved using Cearvol products. They really are leaders in hearing aid technology. But let me know, have you used hearing aids? Have you used OTC before? And which one would you go for? Let me know, and I look forward to your thoughts. Enter the giveaway, like, subscribe, and click the notification button, and check out our hearing aid playlist. And there is the Cearvol Nano here at Mr. Yoo-Hoo.